Hi friends, welcome back to my channel and welcome to the last day of Vlogmas. Whether this is the first video of mine you are watching, the first Vlogmas video of mine you are watching, or if you have watched every Vlogmas video up until then, I want to say a huge thank you. This year has been fantastic for me in regards to my reading and my channel and just my mood overall about my channel, and that has a lot to do with you guys. For the people that always comment, or maybe you just lurk and you just watch and you do all of that, you consume my content regardless of how you interact with it, thank you so much. And I'm excited to go into 2023. I thought in today's video it would be sort of like a reading vlog. I decided I originally planned to read like 4 or 5 Christmas romances, but I actually decided to give myself a break and just read one. You can probably tell by the thumbnail of the video and the title and all that what I'll be reading. I'm pretty excited to get into it, but first of all, I wanted to say a thank you and also give you kind of an idea of what you can expect from me next year. So in terms of my channel for the year, for 2022, I have done a lot of self-reflection and a lot of changing. I have maintained that I love doing this as a hobby since the beginning. I've always loved doing it. I love editing. I love talking about books. The whole process to me is just a joy. But this year I didn't do quite as well as I wanted to do. I didn't hit some personal goals for myself, and I really had to take a step back from my channel at one point and sort of do some self-reflection and some work on myself about this channel. And I had to force myself, or I came to the realization that this is truly just a passion project for me. I make these videos because I love the act of making the videos and I love talking about books, and regardless of how many people watch it or who watches it or whatever, I am going to continue, and I love the content that I make and I love the content that I'm going to make. And so there isn't anything that's going to change that. If I never get another sub, I lose all of my subs, or if I blow up or whatever happens this coming year, I'm going to focus on making content that I love and you know, enjoying the fact that I have the ability to make videos and post it and read books and all of that stuff. So a lot of self-reflection and changing went on in regards to my channel and just my presence on the bookternet this year, and I think that it was definitely it was definitely a good experience, a good thing that I, you know, sat back and thought about what I wanted out of this. So in regards to Vlogmas and Bookmas, if you didn't know, I actually started my Vlogmas, my October and my Vlogmas content back in August. In August, I sort of like conceptualized the idea that in October I was going to do 5 videos per week, and then in October I was going to be doing 31 videos. This quickly... Hi, Gotham. That doesn't seem like a good place for you to be, does it? These shelves are not the most stable. Like, she's not gonna fall or anything, but I can hear her. I can hear her moving. So like I said, I started planning this back in August, and I started filming videos in August, and I started putting together TBRs, and I set a very strict schedule for myself to get all of this done, because I knew that I wanted to do particularly Vlogmas, and I wanted a lot of my videos to be vlogs and more like secret TBR videos, because that's the content that I love making, and I wanted to have a wide range of vlogs for you and concepts for you. And then I got COVID, and then I ended up in the hospital, and when I got out of the hospital, it was I felt like I had let myself down. Like I wasn't going to be able to do the amount of videos that I wanted, make the content that I wanted, and I'm very happy that I was able to push out 25 videos. Even though it's not 31, I'm still happy that I was able to do 25, and I was able to do a good portion of the October videos that I had planned. And I'm very proud of myself, and I hope that you guys have enjoyed this. I hope that you guys have enjoyed this Vlogmas content. And yeah, I am happy with how much I was able to do, and I don't feel disappointed in myself in the least, which was definitely how I was feeling in the beginning. Last up is my reading. So I had a great reading year. I actually exceeded my goal of 300 books. I've never read so many books in a year before, so this was definitely a push, and it forced me to learn a lot about my reading and change my reading and my reading preferences throughout the year. As you will see towards the end of Vlogmas, I have changed what I enjoy reading so much in the last, I would say, 4 or 5 months. I have been consuming specifically romance content, romance books for the past 2 years. That was the focus of my reading. I would occasionally read other things, but romance was my favorite genre. It was my most read genre, and that's not going to change going into 2023, but I discovered things about romance books that I do and don't enjoy. So I don't particularly like heavy smut books. I prefer more emotional books, more books centering around trauma and things like that, characters that are doing the emotional work to get their relationship and themselves to a healthy place. And that's what I'm hoping to focus on in 2023. That's hard to do because a lot of the time going into these stories, you don't know what you're going to get. You have a synopsis and you have what people are saying about the books, but everybody's reading preferences are different. So something that someone might consider really deep and emotional, I might not consider that to be that way when I read it. One of my goals for the year is to have 30% of my reading be 5 stars. When I created my list of goals, I actually had 40%, and I just don't really think that's going to happen, because when I look back on the 300 plus books I have read this year, only 10% have been 5 stars. And that's kind of sad. That means that I have only loved a certain amount of books, and quite frankly, when I look back on them, they're really similar books. They have kind of similar premises. Most of them are historical romances, and I want to expand that. I want to explore more subgenres, and I want to also read other genres. So if you don't know, I love manga. I love fantasy, mysteries. So I haven't focused on those genres at all in my reading for the last year, and I think I'm just becoming unfulfilled with just reading one genre. And so I'm gonna focus on reading horror. I'm gonna focus on reading literary fiction. I'm gonna focus on reading mysteries. I love mysteries. I'm gonna include manga into my reading. And I'm hoping that this will round out my reading. If you watch my December reading vlog coming in January, you'll see that I'm introducing a lot of new reads into my reading already, and I'm feeling better about my reading. I'm feeling more fulfilled. I'm exploring topics that I really enjoy that I haven't allowed myself to explore because I've been focusing on romance. Like I said, romance is still going to be the majority of my reading for the next year, the majority of my physical TBR and my Kindle TBR. I have a whole Kindle Unlimited TBR that is romance, and I'll be focusing on my physical TBR for next year, so a lot of it is still going to be romance, but I'm just going to sprinkle other things in to make myself feel a little more fulfilled. With that, I do have some goals for my channel, but before we get into that, I do want to focus on consistently interacting with the community, especially in the latter half of the month after I left the hospital. I found myself so focused on creating content and reading that I fell out of the community. I can't tell you the last time that I watched a booktube video. Now that is something that I've heard a lot of creators recently who are experiencing burnout say, but mine is not for that reason. It is sort of, in that I'm making so many videos and reading so much that the idea of consuming book content after that is just exhausting for me. So I want to watch people play video games. I want to watch a TV show. I want to do something other than hear about books. That's never something that I've experienced before, but because this grind to put out all of this content at the end of the year weighed so heavily on me and my thoughts, the idea of like interacting with other people in any way was too much. So I would really like to get into more like live shows. I want to do a monthly live show on my channel. I'm not going to push myself too much because doing the Brianna Hale backlist read along last year was quite intense. Having a monthly live show was just, I felt a lot of pressure. So I want to keep doing a monthly live show, but kind of adjust that as I see fit. Maybe one month I don't want to do it. Maybe I'm itching to do 2 a month. Who knows? But I would like to do 1. And I also want to be more consistent on Instagram. I don't have a book talk and I don't have a Twitter. So Instagram outside of YouTube is really the way that I interact with not only my community, but the romance community and the book community as a whole. And I want to be more involved there. That was a goal that I set for myself this year and I just didn't really reach it. And I want to do that. I want to be more invested in the community. And then, like I said, I want to get down my physical TBR. We will be discussing that over the next couple of months. As we get into 2023, you guys, I'll go through my physical TBR with you guys. I do have a video already on my channel that was done a couple of months ago, but it has changed a little bit since then. So I am going to be focusing on my physical TBR. And then in regards to my channel itself, something that I'm really going to be focusing on is the quality of my vlogs. I love making vlogs. They're my favorite content to make. I like secret TBR vlogs. I like weekly reading vlogs. I like monthly vlogs. I love vlog content and I want to improve the way that I do that. I want to improve the quality of my vlogs. There are so many creators that I find their videos, their vlogs in particular, so comforting to watch. They either stimulate me and inspire me, or I can just put them on and I can enjoy myself and I can be comforted in watching their content over and over again. In particular, people that inspire me to make better content. So that's going to be my focus. I think the past year, a large part of the issue that I had with content in particular is I have a lot of ideas for vlogs. I mean, pages and pages of list of ideas for vlogs. And I was forcing myself to do sit down videos or recommendation videos in general that I just wasn't in love with. And I felt like I had to do them. And at this point, I am not making content that I have to make. I'm making content for myself. Anybody in my community that also enjoys the same content that I enjoy. And that's just kind of gonna be what it is. I'll do recommendation videos as I feel like it. I'll maybe do a tag video here and there, but I'm going to be focusing on vlogs predominantly. So there's that. And then the last goal that I have for my channel, I haven't really discussed this on my channel before because this is a very sensitive topic, especially for people that are like micro channels, but I would like to reach 600 subscribers on my channel. I am not under the impression that I'm going to get to 1,000 in 2023. It's just not realistic. My channel is growing very, very slowly, and it has been growing very slowly for the past, since I started my channel. So I think, I can't remember exactly when I started my channel, like I can't remember exactly what I started with in the beginning of 2022, but this is the number that I started with and this is where I'm at now. So it's been a pretty slow growth. And I want to get to 600. At the time of filming this, I think I'm at 450 and I would like to get to 600. That's like my stretch goal. Even if I get to 500, I'll be very excited. I don't foresee myself getting to 1,000. That's going to be hard for me to say that's ever a goal for myself because I just don't see myself doing that. And that's just like a realistic thing. I just don't see myself getting to 1,000, and that's okay. Like I said, I've had a lot of conversations with myself about why I'm doing this, and numbers is not one of the reasons. I mean, I know it's easy to say that and it's easy to sound, you know, above that, but also it does take an emotional toll on you and you feel like you're pouring your heart and soul into something that is, quite frankly, something you are putting out to be consumed by others, and you don't feel like it's being consumed by others, you know, and people aren't enjoying it. So it's still a goal, still something that I want to work for, but I want to get to a place where I just am reading the things that I want to read. My videos are looking how I want them to look, and then I'm just getting better and growing every day, just like my reading is. So those are the goals in regards to my channel. So going into the next year, I want to focus on my vlog quality. I want to expand my reading genres. I also want to expand the reading genres in the romance. I want to expand the subgenres in the romance genre. And I want to interact with the community more. So that's it. I guess my last comment again is just thank you, and I really hope you enjoy the rest of the vlog. I have not started Love Light Farms, but I have been reading quite dense nonfiction, and I want something sweet, and I'm gonna give it a shot. I've heard great things about it, so I really hope you enjoy the rest of the video. Let me know your thoughts on my goals, or let me know your favorite booktube channels down below. I made a community post about this, and I didn't get too many responses, but I want to know your favorite booktubers, and if you want to tell me why they're your favorite, I would love to hear it. But let's get into the vlog, and I really hope you enjoy it. Thanks. Friends, I am 25% of the way through Love Light Farms, and this is so fucking cute, and it's just exactly what I needed. I'm not a cute bitch. I'm not a rom-com fan. I don't like them, but this is what I needed. Does it need to be 400 pages? It remains to be seen, but at the moment, I'm enjoying it. So, this is about Luca and the heroine, Stella. So, Stella owns a Christmas tree farm, and in the beginning of the book, she is in a lot of debt. She bought this Christmas tree farm because it was like her dream. She wanted to have like a winter wonderland that a lot of people enjoyed, and had like very Christmas spirit, and you know, had all the fun holidays and stuff, and that people could come and enjoy. And she bought this Christmas tree farm. She lives on it, you know, that's just like, this is like her dream. But when she bought it, she didn't realize how in debt that it was, and that she would sort of subsume the debt. And so she's now in debt and struggling, and she possibly is going to have to close her doors. And she has a best friend, Luca, who is like an accountant of some sort, and his mother, his grandmother or his mother or both of them live in town. It's like, it takes place in like this small town. They met each other like 10 years ago, and ever since then they've been best friends. And she has entered into like a competition with this Instagram influencer who has like millions of subscribers and stuff, and she's like a destination influencer or whatever the hell they're called, and she won. But she told the influencer that she opened the Love Light Farms, the farm, with her boyfriend, and so she has to ask Luca to be her fake boyfriend, and immediately he's like, yeah, sure, yeah, cool, that's cool. And this man, okay, so from what we've seen so far, he goes with her to her family Thanksgiving dinner because she doesn't have a very good relationship with her father and her stepmom, but she has a fantastic relationship with her stepbrother, and her mom is dead, and so she doesn't usually spend Thanksgiving with them. Like, he forces them to have a Thanksgiving not on Thanksgiving so that he doesn't have to acknowledge that she's part of the family, but still like uphold the tradition of having Thanksgiving dinner with his family or whatever bullshit. And so she has a lot of like bad feelings about her father, but she feels like that's her only family, so she participates in this dinner anyways. And he finds out and Luca is there for the weekend, and they're, you know, fake dating. They've been around town, and they're like introducing each other, like they're introducing the town's members to their relationship and stuff. And he finds out that she has to go to this dinner while he's in town, and he says he's going to go with her for emotional support. And it's so freaking cute. I'm loving the tension between them. There's been several moments where he will like do something. They're very affectionate with each other as friends, but now they're like affectionate with each other in a relationship way. And like he'll do it like when they're not with people, and she's just like, okay. Like there was a scene where she's like, okay, well, what's gonna happen when we no longer have to fake date and everybody in town is like now invested in our fake relationship? Like, what are we gonna tell everyone? He was like, we just won't. She's like, what do you mean? He was like, we'll just continue to go like to be like this. She's like, continue what? Continue dating? What? He's like, we're already like, he basically doesn't say it, but he's like, we're already basically in a relationship. And it's so fucking cute. I'm loving it a whole lot. It is the angst and tension in the actual mutual pining relationship that I want, with also the cute small town Christmas Eve vibes. At the point in this book, it's like just after Halloween, and then we're going into Thanksgiving. I will say the one complaint that I have thus far is I wish that we got Luca's point of view, because I feel like the mutual pining just works better when you have both points of view. But I'm just loving it so much. So I'm gonna get 50% of the way through and update you again. Like I said, this is 400 pages, and we'll see how my feelings go from there. But at the moment, I'm really loving it. So we'll talk. Okay friends, I apologize if all of my reading updates are done in the same position. It is what it is, you know. I am 67% of the way through Love Life Farms, and I'm still loving it. Honestly, this could be a 5-star, and I'm so shocked because I am not a like fun, cutesy book lover. That's just not my thing, but I'm loving this. Like the tension between the hero and the heroine is so fantastic. And right now we've had some delightful practicing scenes. We had the heroine we had the lady, the influencer, come, found out that she had some hookups with Beckett, who is a co-partner of our main character. So I'm sure that's going to be another book if it's not already. And they have like decided to just go with the flow and like have a relationship and do whatever they feel like. We have had some heavy petting scenes, but we haven't had like an actual consummation of their relationship yet, and the tension between them is just fantastic. They're so cute, but also like so sexy. It's very hot, and I don't mean that in the like there's a lot of like spice or anything like that. I just mean like the relationship is well developed and the tension is well developed, so it's a hot book. Does that make sense? So 67% in, she has finally revealed to everybody that the farm is struggling. They have this like tentative relationship going on, and they are trying to find out who is like vandalizing the farm. She's had a couple of incidents since she bought the farm of people like kicking the gates over, smashing pumpkins. So she installed a camera in the barn area, and she woke up one night and someone was knocking the cameras out. it ended up being a whole thing. And so they're now like trying to figure out what's going on. So there's a couple of things going on: the relationship, the mystery, and then the actual farm, like the holidays happening and this influencer and like trying to keep the farm afloat. And like the town is so cute. They have come together to make sure that there's always like they came up with shifts to make sure there's someone always at the farm, and they went around and decorated the town early so that everything was very Christmassy for the influencer. And it's very, very cute. It's very just like exactly what I needed, exactly what I wanted, and I'm loving it. So like I said, 67% of the way in. I'll be back when I am done with it, but it could very well be a 5-star. I don't know if I will continue with the series because I don't think the other ones have the same like Christmassy vibe, but possibly. Like I've heard the other ones aren't as good, is what I'm trying to say. So I'm gonna come back to you when I am done. I'm just reading so many good romances. I'm reading a historical romance right now that I talk about in my December monthly vlog. That is so good. And this one is so good. So I'll come back to you when I am done, and we'll see if it's a 4 or 5 star. I'm hoping for a 5-star, and I'm just loving it. So we'll be back. Okay, I haven't finished the book, but I just wanted to talk because I'm feeling kind of emo, and I want to talk it out because I think it will be, I don't know, cathartic, but also like some people will understand. Yes, Angel. Yes, baby. I think people who were raised traditionally feminine will understand where I'm coming from, because I don't think that this is just like a me thing or like how I was raised thing. I think it's just like how women are raised to conceptualize relationships and act in relationships. And like the reason I love romance is because I think back on all of the people, like I've been with my current partner since I was 19. Prior to him, I had been in a longer relationship with someone like right out of high school, and he was not a good partner. Like he was older than me, not much older than me. He was only like a year older than me. I knew him when I was in high school, and I initiated the relationship, but he pressured me into a lot of things. And I look back on that relationship and relationships that I've had since then. It makes me sad to like think about all of the little pieces of myself that I've given to people that didn't care, didn't value who I was as a person and what I could provide in a relationship, and I didn't value myself enough to demand a partner acknowledge those things. Like I was so afraid of someone not loving me, of always being alone, that I, at the ripe age of 18, I was with people that like didn't value me at all. And even in relationships where I felt like I was being valued, I held on to the relationship a lot longer, even if the circumstances weren't right. And even if our lives were going on different paths, I held on to that because I felt like no one was ever going to love me in the way that that person did, or, you know, whatever. And so I look back and I get very like emotional about the things that I sacrificed in myself and the behaviors that I accepted and all of that. And so when I read romance, I crave stories of people who have gone through trauma or have experienced hardships, and they just find someone to work through that with them. They're not necessarily having to lose any agency or pretend to be somebody that they're not. they can just be themselves, and there are people that they allow into their lives, people that they love, people that they accept as partners, who love them as they are, and they fight and they get over it. And like, romance to me is not unrealistic. It's not any of those things. I think it's two people meeting each other halfway, as it should be, through their traumas, through their baggage, through their past, working through those things together and getting to a place where they feel like their relationship is healthy for who they are and their lifestyle and what they want, and exploring those things together, not having to give each other parts of themselves. They're working in a cohesive relationship that is just honest. And I'm loving that about Love Light Farms, because neither of them, from what we've really talked about, have had super big relationships. They've been friends for a really long time, and they are just so comfortable with each other, and they just accept each other's flaws. And there's a scene where it's revealed to everybody that Estelle has been lying about the financial state of the farm, and Luca just like hugs her and comforts her and is like, we're gonna work through this together. I understand why you lied, but we're gonna go forward like partners, and we're gonna figure this out. And there's just little moments of them showing up for each other in little ways, in big ways, and it's just, it makes me love romance. And like, this might not be my perfect book. Like, I haven't finished it. It could end up not being my perfect book, could end up not being a 5-star, but in general, that is just what I love about romance. And it makes me want to be better in my relationship. It makes me want to improve myself in the ways that make me unhealthy in a relationship, or make me not necessarily unhealthy, but make me not be 100% the best person I can be, right? We're always growing, we're always changing, we're always striving to be better than we were yesterday or the year before or the day, like whatever. And I think romance not only gives me insight into what I want out of a relationship, even if it's the most wild of stories, even if it's like an orc fucking a woman. Obviously I don't want an orc, right? But it opens up different loves, different types of love, different relationship dynamics. It makes me consider what I want and what I will accept from a relationship, and it makes me want to be better for my partner. Makes me want my partner to feel in our relationship how these people feel in their relationship, or how I feel reading their relationship. Like, it makes me want to better myself for my partner and for myself in general, because I want to just be happy, and I want to have a safe, comfy place, and I want to enjoy my life. And it's just, that's what romance gives me. And people read romance for various different reasons, and I don't think anybody ever really discuss, like, there are people certainly in the romance community that talk about like the importance of romance, like Crystal from Crystal's Bookish Life. And there are conversations had about what romance can do and what it is and what it does for us. But I don't think that when we, like, on a whole, I don't think a lot of people are open and vulnerable about why they read romance and what romance means to them. And I think over the past couple of years of really focusing on romance, that's what I've gotten out of it. I've gotten to a place where I am comfortable, like, just saying what I need. And it's still hard for me. There are still moments where I feel like I'm unable to express myself, just my own negativities towards myself. But romance has really helped me start asking for the things, or demanding the things that I want, the things that I need. So yeah, I mean, I just was feeling a little bit emotional just reading this romance and thinking about like all of the relationships that I tried to force into something that I wanted, and whether it was fair for the person that I was with or not, whether they were fair and equal with me or not, I was still forcing something without, one, knowing what I wanted, and two, knowing how to ask for what I wanted. So how could I meet someone, how could I expect someone else to meet me halfway if I wasn't meeting them and myself halfway? So yeah, I wanted to talk about that because I feel like a lot of women can understand where I'm coming from. A lot of people that have been raised as women are taught to make themselves smaller and diminish their own desires to fit in whatever scenario you know you're working in, particularly in relationships. There's so many stereotypes around women's positions in romantic relationships with men specifically that it's hard to get to a point where it's like you view yourself as an equal in the relationship, where you feel you can express your needs. It's just a hard hurdle to overcome, and that's something that I work on every single day, and romance helps that. I think romance often gets like diminished because it's not as intelligent, it's not as intellectual as other genres, but I think the main focus of romance is empathy, and what is more sexy and intelligent than emotional intelligence, than empathy, than compassion? I don't know anything better than learning that, than reading other people's loves and understanding other people's love and how that can foster compassion in you for others. Like, I don't know, sure, I can read fucking a book about string theory and I might feel more intelligent in time space, but that doesn't mean that helps me on a daily basis. It doesn't mean that I am making other people's lives better and impacting people in a positive way just because I understand that. That doesn't make me less intelligent because I'm focusing on my compassion and my empathy for others and my connectivity with others. This is just kind of an all over the place update, but yeah, that's why I love romance, and reading this I'm reminded of why I like romance, and I'm gonna get back to reading it, and we'll talk again when I'm done. This has been a very chatty vlog. I hope you are enjoying it, and I hope you enjoy the last little bit of the vlog. I will be back with my thoughts when I'm done. Thanks for listening. Okay, listen, I finished it. 5 stars. I almost cried, and I want to read this to you because this is the part that I almost cried at. It's at the end of the book. By the way, this has 2 like epilogues. I read both of them. I never read epilogues, and I definitely don't read like extended epilogues. I read the epilogue, I read the bonus chapter, like, I loved it so much. It was so good, so heartwarming. Just okay, so this is from Luca's point of view. We only get the bonus chapter and the epilogue in his point of view. We don't get any other points of view from him, which, like, if I was being really overly critical, I would say that that is a fault of the book, but like, he says, I'm going to keep stuffing Stella's pantry with whole grain bread and protein bars and actual real life fruit because cup noodles and Oreos aren't a responsible diet. I'm going to dance with her in the kitchen, her bare feet stepping on my toes every other step. Cook her bolognese and ravioli and manicotti and garlic bread with extra cheese because her face lights up when she sees me at her stove. Chin on my shoulder as she tries to reach over me for a taste. I'm going to hold her hand when she needs it, tuck her close when she needs that too. I'm going to love her in all the quiet ways, the slow ways, the loud and obnoxious ways. My heart has been moving steadily in that direction since she fell down the steps of a hardware store right in my arms. Yeah. Yep. Wow. Yeah, read it, like, read it, just read it like I read it for this video because it's super popular, and I get it. I truly get it. As someone who doesn't like cutesy stuff, who doesn't like rom-coms generally, who is an angsty bitch, Yep. It has the angst in the relationship that I absolutely love. It has the small town vibes. It has the Christmas farm vibe. Like, ugh. Yeah, truly amazing. Truly amazing. And I want you to read it if you have been considering reading it. If you haven't read it yet, truly amazing. Just loved it. Yeah, I don't have anything like intelligent to say, and I don't have anything to say that I feel like I haven't said already. So I'm just gonna leave you guys here. I hope you guys enjoyed the vlog. I would love to know your thoughts down below on the video, on my goals, on Love Life Farms, on what you're excited for in the new year. I would love to hear it. Thank you so much for watching this video, all the other Vlogmas videos if you have watched them. Thank you for spending the year with me. If you are interested in more content from me, make sure you subscribe. I will be back in January. I'm going to take a break for the rest of the year and just read some nice little books, but you'll be able to catch that in my December reading vlog. I just won't be posting anything else in the rest of the year. So again, I hope you really enjoyed Vlogmas. I know I did. And I would love to hear your thoughts down below. If you don't have anything to say, leave any Christmas related emoji down below. I would love to see all of them. Thank you so much for watching this video and all of the other Vlogmas videos if you did so, and I will catch you guys next year.